16th October 1905, for the first time, Bengal witnessed the horror of partition. Bengal was the largest province of British-ruled Bharat. It served as the capital of British India, making it a region of immense political significance. The province included both Bengali-speaking Hindus and Muslims. From the Indigo Revolt of 1859 to the Patna Revolt of 1870, Bengal witnessed a rising wave of nationalism that became indomitable. The spirit of resistance burned bright. Bengal did not fight the battle for freedom with the sword alone. It fought with the mighty pen as well. Bankim Chandra's Anandamath and the song Vande Mataram shook the very foundation of the British Raj, turning Bengal into the epicenter of India's awakening. The formation of the Anusilan Samiti in 1902 further intensified the movement. The British, threatened by Bengal's intellectual and revolutionary valor, sought to crush this nationalist spirit. In response to this growing nationalism, the British adopted their notorious policy of partition, and a group of privileged Muslims led by Nawab Khwaja Salimullah Bahadur fueled the flames of partition. Although the partition was officially announced in 1905 by Lord Curzon, its seeds had already been sown 2 years earlier, in 1903, when plans for Bengal's division were leaked from Curzon's office. The goal was not administrative efficiency, it was the deliberate dismemberment of Bengal's unity. Both Hindu and Muslim communities initially opposed the idea of partition. Yet, over time, the lure of an independent Muslim majority province and the illusion of political advantage swayed many aristocratic Muslim families to support it. The campaign raised by these loyal elites in favor of division soon influenced the common Muslim population as well. They became loyalists of the British, lending their strength to a movement that would ultimately divide Bengal. The British plan worked perfectly. Bengal was torn apart. Terror spread across land, families were uprooted, and thousands lost their lives. Since then, India's diverse and secular identity began to fade, and Bengal woke to the grim reality of communal separation. In 1906, the All India Muslim League was formed in Dhaka. At its inaugural session, it was declared that the partition was the best interests of Mohammedan society of East Bengal, and the method of agitation such as boycott should be condemned and discouraged. The foundational ethos of the League was rooted not in nationalism but in obedience of the British Crown. Its leaders believed that only British protection could safeguard their community's faith, property, and honor against the imagined threat of Hindu dominance. Resolution after resolution echoed their fear that once the British left, Hindus might not forgive the Mohammedans for the real or imaginary sins of Aurangzeb. Thus, British rule was framed not as oppression but as protection, and partition was a means of survival. Since then, the scar of partition has remained deeply etched in Bengal's memory. For the first time, a province was divided purely on religious grounds, a wound that would never heal. And today, once again, blinded by the lust for power, the present government of Bengal seems to be playing a perilous game with the same flames of appeasement. From Murshidabad to Mothabari, from Maheshtola to Mominpur, the embers of violence and selective silence continue to burn. Each riot, each assault, each act of suppression stands as a grim reminder of how history repeats itself when leaders trade justice for vote banks for their political survival. Let not the fire once ignited by appeasement and division ever again engulf Bengal or turn it to ashes.